Oh my god, ah, Bloody one! Whoa! Okay, that was okay. What a race that was! Jesus. Oh man, sorry if it's not your traditional post-race show. I'm just gonna be rambling on, but I'll try to keep it as as coordinated as possible. But what a race! Okay, let's just start off at the beginning. Stage one really was. We saw some good racing, calm but good racing. Started to get heating up near the last 3 or 4 laps of stage one, and William Byron will end up winning that stage. Then the rain came, pushed everything back to Monday. There was also like some talk about team orders, about how Chevy and how they were like giving out orders saying you have to go with the Chevy driver or else there'll be consequences. That's a whole nother story we're not going to get into. But really, stage two was, again, nothing much happened. Well, I say that compared to what happened in stage three. Stage two, like I said, we're postponed to Monday. It started out horrible for Brad Keselowski because he wasn't able to go. He had starter issues. It took him till the back straightaway for him to even had the opportunity for the car to start going. He eventually got it going. And then once green flag came out, it really became the Ford versus Chevy battle. We saw really the Hendrick drivers of Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, and Jimmy Johnson up against the Ford group, mostly the Team Penske groups of Brad Keselowski, Joe Logano, or the Roush Fenner driver, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It's between those drivers that were really just swapping leads or just in front for majority of the stage. Like I said, everything was going good. We saw some very aggressive racing. However, that all came down with 4 laps to go in stage two. Alex Bowman, or Joe Logano, gets a massive run help from behind. I believe it was Brad Keselowski down the back straightaway, and Alex Bowman throws a horrendous block. That gets him turned sideways right in front of the field, collects his teammate Jimmy Johnson and Chase Elliott, collects Kyle Larson, and much more. It was a really scary crash. When I saw Bowman sideways, I thought, okay, he's gonna, like, something bad's gonna happen. I thought he was gonna flip or something, but luckily nothing happened. Stayed on his wheels. All drivers came out okay, but that was just the beginning of what was gonna happen later on in this race. Something funny happened with 36 laps to go in stage 3 or in the race. Clint Boyer, who I believe fell to the back of the pack due to a tire going down, eventually went down. I believe it was a left front tire. But the funny part about that was he got stuck on the apron. So the back tires, he basically had no traction on the back tires for him to be able to start going. So he was stuck, and the safety workers were trying to push him, push the back end of the car in order for him to get out. Boyer was fuming because he said, like, are humans gonna push this thing? He wanted to get a wrecker out, or want to get some help out here, but did not want the wrecker out because it would hurt the suspension and everything that went on. Restart then takes place with 32 laps to go. Joe Logano was really the main guy after that first accident that took place. However, like I said, with 26 to go, another big crash would take place, and it involved Joey Logano and William Byron, who were positioned 3rd and 4th, I believe, at the time. Byron gets a shove from Kurt, but not too good of a shove apparently, because it got Byron loose, slammed to the side of Joe Logano. Joe Logano went airborne just a bit. 2 wheels came off of the ground, came back down on all 4. Collected, I think, the 47 car of Ryan Preece. I think Daniel Suarez was also involved, and also Matt Crafton, who replaced Pavanard at the end of stage 1 in the 21 car. He was also involved in a lot more other drivers. We start with 20 laps to go, then 3 laps later, 17 to go, another caution came out and involved Daniel Suarez, who spun in turns 3 and 4. And that set up another restart. And again, a lot of aggressive racing. We saw the Busch brothers starting to work together. Kyle Busch, who was really like the lone Toyota, it seemed like. He was up front challenging for the lead. We saw Matt DiBenedetto also out in front. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also pushing, making some very aggressive moves. And I had a feeling a wreck was going to come out, but I did not expect a wreck like this. With 6 laps to go, Kyle Busch gets a hit from his brother Kurt that I believe got Busch sideways, slams into Brendan Gaughan, who was in 3rd place at the time, slams into Brad Keselowski as well. That turns Gaughan right in front of Kurt Busch and others, and Gaughan goes flying into the air, lands it on his roof or on his wheels, just one barrel, lands it, and I'll tell you what, that was one of the scariest wrecks I've ever seen, because that was entering a turn. You know, it's one thing when it enters a straightaway, but this was entering a corner. So I thought when he got up in the air, I thought he was going to hit the catch fence or something like that. So thank goodness he was okay. All the other drivers were also okay. It was a massive, massive crash. But that, again, was not the end of it. In terms of crashes, not in crashes, but in terms of excitement. So we restart with, I believe, 3 or 2 laps to go. And then Ryan Blaney, remember, like I said earlier, he entered this race 22 points below the cut line. He needed to win. And my golly, did he do the impossible. Heading to the final lap, Blaney was, I believe, 2nd or 3rd. Ryan Newman gets a good push, a huge push from the outside lane on Denny Hamlin that sends Newman to the lead, entering 3. But Hamlin gave Newman too good of a push. Newman got loose. That separated Newman and Hamlin apart, but Newman was able to come down in front of Blaney. Then off at turn 4, heading to a trial with Chris Buescher and Parker Kligerman, took 2 huge hits to the outside wall. And then Ryan Blaney goes up high, cuts down low, was able to get into Newman's left rear corner panel, got him loose. Being and banging, Blaney nearly lost it entering the trial when he got below the yellow line. Was able to come back up. They started beating and banging, and to the line, Blaney beats out Ryan Newman by 7/1000ths of a second at that time. And right now, that currently stands as the 6th closest finish in NASCAR history. I'm just going to be reading the top 10 and some notables for you. So like I said, Ryan Blaney wins. He now advances on to the round of 8. Ryan Newman in 2nd. Denny Hamlin in 3rd, who had issues with his roof flaps, was able to rebound to a 3rd place run. Eric Almirola in 4th. Michael McDowell, nice run for him in 5th. Austin Dillon in 6th. Corey LaJoie, nice solid run for him in 7th place. Chase Elliott in 8th. He was caught up in that first big crash in stage 1 involving Alex Bowman. I thought he was out of it, but he came back to an 8th place run. Another great comeback from Chase Elliott, number 19. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. somehow, I mean, he didn't cause any wrecks, but Jesus, he nearly caused, I think, 80% of the wrecks. He was very aggressive, and anytime he's near the front, I get scared. But he surprisingly comes home 9th. Ty Dillon in 10th. Joe Logano in 11th. God, when you see Logano's car, the fact that he was able to finish 11th is a shock. Another shocking thing about that was the fact that when Logano suffered damage, blue foam came out of his car. Now that is a safety requirement by NASCAR. So I was kind of surprised that, because that was gone, or at least a good portion of it was gone. So I was kind of surprised that NASCAR allowed Logano to continue without a good portion of that foam, but he brings home in 11th place. Look, I don't like Logano, but that was a hell of a run from him in that 22 team. To be able to rebound from a situation like that and come home a top 12 finish, very impressive for that Shell Pennzoil team. Ross Chastain in 12th place. Nice job for him. Matt Tifft in 13th. Landon Castle 14th. Parker Kligerman gets credited with a 15th place finish. Even though he wasn't able to cross the finish line, he crashed entering the tri-oval. 16th is Paul Menard, but driven by Matt Crafton, but Menard gets the credit for that finish. Kevin Harvick 17th. Ryan Preece 18th. Kyle Busch in 19th. And Chris Buescher rounds out the top 20. Let's take a look at the playoff grid. Before Talladega, Blaney entered in last, 22 points below the cut line. He needed to win in order to advance, or at least have a really good run. Well, he won. So now he goes from 12th to now 2nd advance onto the round of 8. Joe Logano still holds the final spot, now 18 points above the cut line. 9th, the first one out, 9th place is Alex Bowman. 10th is Chase Elliott, 22 points below. 11th is Clinton Boyer, 24 points below. And William Byron is 12th, 27 points below the cut line. So really the remaining 4 drivers, or the 4 drivers below the cut line, they basically need to win if they want to have a shot at the round of 8. Overall, my thoughts on it, I enjoy the race. It was a really good race, a really intense race, specifically from stage 2 on. It was a really intense race. What a finish. Congratulations to Ryan Blaney. I did not think he was able to get underneath Newman like that. I thought as soon as I saw Newman got out front, I thought, oh, Newman has won this thing. But surprisingly, Blaney was able to get underneath Newman and was able to get the win. Very fun race. I hate the team orders. I'm going to get that in a later video. But, oh, man, Chevy was really pushing my buttons when they said that they were ordering drivers to follow Chevy cars or else. That really annoyed me. But what a race. Oh, man. And I want to say something. NASCAR, do not change this package. Yes, we know Brennan Gaughan, he flipped, but when you're racing at speeds of 200 miles an hour, you can't do anything about it. That was a racing incident, or stock car racing incident, I should say. There's nothing you can do about it. It happens, but It was a very fun race to watch. What are you guys' thoughts on the race? Tell me in the comment section down below. We'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on it. So if I lost my voice, sorry, because I was screaming when I saw Blaney get underneath them because I couldn't believe it. So I'm just gonna stop right now before I lose my voice even more. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. But until next time, my name is Jack Cross from NASCAR on MDK, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!